Good morning, one and all. Today we will discuss about spinal cord. Spinal cord is an elongated portion of the central nervous system, nothing but from the medulla oblongata through the intervertebral foramina. The spinal cord is continued. Mm. So the continuation of the medulla oblongata is spinal cord, which is suspended in the vertebral column, and it is extended up to the first lumbar vertebrae. See, it is extended up to the first lumbar vertebrae, and it is covered by meninges. That is whatever the meninges discovered for the brain as well as for spinal cord. Also we already discussed the meninges, the three layers of the meninges. That is, see the arrangement here. See, here the spinal cord is there. So the coverings of the spinal cord, that is meninges, this is dura mater, arachnoid mater and pia mater, and here it is extended up to the lower border of first lumbar vertebrae, and the spinal cord is 45 centimeters long, and the thickness is looks like a little finger, and it is incompletely divided into two halves. See here, there is a fissures here. It is incompletely divided into two halves, and it is anterior part as well as posterior part. Anteriorly it is divided by anterior median fissure. Posteriorly it is divided by posterior median septum. Anteriorly by anterior median fissure, and posteriorly by posterior median septum. And next, coming to the arrangement here, the spinal cord is dividing into two parts, incompletely dividing into two parts, that is anterior and posterior. Okay, and coming to the arrangement here, inside we are having gray matter and outside we are having white matter. See the color identification here, that is exact opposite to the brain. See here, inside we are having gray matter and outside we are having white matter. Coming to the gray matter here, it is resembles like a H shape, and it is in the center of the gray matter we are having a center canal. The main function of the center canal here, it is the passage of cerebrospinal fluid. And next it has two posterior column and two anterior column as well as two lateral columns. See, two anterior columns, two posterior columns and two lateral columns. In the gray matter only you can observe two anterior columns, two posterior columns as well as two lateral columns. And already you know that gray matter is always composed of cell bodies. And next, this gray matter mainly consisting of the sensory neuron, lower motor neuron as well as connector neurons. So sensory neuron, what is the function of the sensory neuron? Always which receives impulse from the peripheral to the body, nothing but from the peripheral tissues to the body, always the carrying of impulses from the effector organ to the brain. Is it right? Next, coming to the lower motor neurons. So lower motor neurons, nothing but which transmit impulses to the skeletal muscles, nothing but from brain to skeletal muscle. Next, connector neurons. Already we discussed about these neurons. These are also known as interneurons while discussing about the reflex action. So interneurons are nothing but which linking sensory and motor neurons at the same or different levels, which form spinal reflex arcs. Already we discussed about reflexes are so many types. In that we already discussed about spinal reflexes. Okay, these spinal reflexes these spinal reflex arcs sometimes consisting of interneurons or connector neurons. So interneurons or connector neurons is nothing but which links the sensory and motor neurons at the same or different levels, which form the spinal cord or spinal reflex arc. So at each point what happened here, nerve impulses are transmitted from one neuron to another neurons. So automatically there is a gap between one neuron to another neuron, that we are calling as a synapse. So it will be observed clearly diagrammatically here. See here Already whatever discussed about gray matter, here see inside the gray matter. So here we are having two and posterior columns, two anterior columns and two lateral columns. Inside the at the center of this gray matter we are having central canal, which will help for the passage of cerebrospinal fluid. And see already whatever discussed earlierly, that the anteriorly and posteriorly is incompletely divided into two halves, anteriorly by the anterior median fissure and posteriorly by the posterior median septum. And next see this whatever discussed here, see the gray matter consisting of sensory neuron, motor neuron and connector neurons. So here these are lower motor neuron. At the center of the anterior part we resembles the lower motor neuron. Lower motor neuron is the continuation of upper motor neuron. Upper motor neuron is present in the brain where at the medulla oblongata the crossing over takes place. It reaches to the spinal cord. In the spinal cord we are having this lower motor neuron. So between the upper motor neuron and lower motor neuron we are having synapse. This will be discussed under the functions of motor neuron in the cerebrum. So here the lower motor neuron, this is the location of lower motor neuron, and the upper one we are having sensory neuron. See here the posterior root, it is the anterior root. So posterior root always due to the stimuli it will reaches the sensory impulses to the posterior part. Why? Because here the sensory neurons are involved, and whatever sensory neurons are received impulses, it will convey the immediate impulses or immediate action through the anterior root, nothing but the motor neurons, to the effector organ. So effector organ, for example, we are discussing about here the lower motor neuron function. So that's why here the skeletal muscle is an effector organ which will responsible for contraction. And next we will discuss about gray matter. So gray matter, already we said that it is having sensory neuron, lower motor neuron and connector neurons. And next coming to the posterior root and anterior root of gray matter, nothing but this is posterior root and anterior root. Whatever I explained here, the same thing again we repeat this. The posterior root is nothing but a sensory neuron which carries the impulses from gray matter to white matter of spinal cord and transmits sensory impulses upward to the brain. Already everywhere the function of sensory neuron is to it carries sensory impulses towards the brain. So here also the same function, here it carries impulses from gray matter of the spinal cord to white matter, and which that white matter transmits sensory impulses upward to the brain from spinal cord. Next coming to the anterior root, here the lower motor neurons. Always we know that gray matter is composed of cell bodies. So here anterior root is nothing but lower motor neurons. See this anterior root is nothing but here it is by the lower motor neurons. So here these are stimulated by upper motor neuron. Already I said that upper motor neurons are present in the brain where the crossing over takes place at the medulla oblongata. So these are stimulated by upper motor neuron linking the anterior and posterior column to form the reflex arc. Reflex arc is nothing but it is an anatomical pathway which consisting of 5 components. Now that is nothing but impulse or receptor, efferent nerve, brain or spinal cord, efferent nerve as well as effector organ. So the complete pathway will be takes place here. And next coming to the white matter. White matter is also arranged in 3 columns or tracks, that is anterior, posterior as well as lateral. Anterior is column we are also known as descending tract. Why? Because here the motor nerve fibers are involved. Why it is called as descending means always descending. What happened here? From the brain to effector organs. Nothing but it is away from the brain. It is the function here is that it is impulses carries away from the brain. And next coming to the posterior column, that is the second column which is also known as ascending tract. Here the sensory neurons are involved. The function of the sensory neurons already we know that it will carries information in the form of impulse from peripheral to CNS, nothing but towards brain or spinal cord. Lateral, both ascending and descending tracts are involved here. For example, the best examples for ascending tract, that is anterior spinothalamo tract or spinothalamic tract, anterior spinothalamic tract. Here nothing but ascending tract, already what we discussed here, it is a sensory neuron. What is the function of sensory neuron? It carries sensory impulses from anterior white matter of spinal cord to thalamus, nothing but spinal cord to brain. In the brain it will carries to the thalamus. The name itself indicates that, anterior spinothalamic tract. So the sensory impulses carry from anterior white matter of spinal cord to thalamus. Can you understand the function of ascending tract? Ascending, it will carry towards the brain from peripheral or from spinal cord to brain. Here always the sensory neurons are involved. Coming to the examples of descending tract. So descending tract examples, so many examples are there: pyramidal tract, extrapyramidal tracts, as well as corticospinal tracts. So pyramidal tract, the function is here, it is formed by internal capsule. The pyramidal tract is formed by internal capsule. Already we discussed in the thalamus here. The pyramidal tract is formed by the internal capsule which appears as a pyramid. Okay, it is also one type of descending tract. And next, coming to the corticospinal tract. Corticospinal tract is nothing but, here the cortical region of cerebrum as well as the spinal cord, both are involved here. So here the impulses are descends from cerebrum to spinal cord, from cerebrum to spinal cord. So that's why this function is here descending. Always this involving of neurons here is motor neurons. So from brain to peripheral region, nothing but from central to peripheral. So from central to peripheral, what happened here? Corticospinal tract, which carries the impulses from cortex region of the cerebrum to spinal cord. In the same way, extrapyramidal tract, these are also tracts that does not pass through the internal capsule and they arise from the subcortical region of the brain. Subcortical region is nothing but below the cortex region of the cerebrum. So another examples are also there here: vestibulospinal tract and rubrospinal tract. Vestibulospinal tract, already we discussed in the functions of cerebellum. Nothing but the spinal cord which is having connection with the vestibular apparatus. What is happening here? Whatever you are receiving the sensory impulses to the vestibular apparatus, from the vestibular apparatus it reaches to the spinal cord. So that is known as vestibulospinal tract. Nothing but simple logic here. Always you have to remember, posterior means ascending, nothing but always the sensory neurons are involved. Simple. Sensory neuron main function is it carries impulses from sensory nerves to brain or spinal cord. Anterior means descending. Descending is always motor nerve fibers. Motor nerve fiber function is always it carries impulses away from the brain. Nothing but it transmit the nerve impulses from brain to peripheral or spinal nerves. Okay, in this formation of these tracts, the spinal nerves are involved. Here we are having lateral, nothing but both ascending and descending. Here the spinal nerves are involved. Already we know the 31 pairs of the spinal nerves all are involved here for carrying the information at a time, both ascending and descending. Nothing but both the sensory and motor neurons are involved at a time here. That is mainly the spinal neurons. Thank you for listening. Spinal cord.